Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, everybody good? We're going to talk tank tops tonight. Our PoM, June PoM, should be something cool, something comfortable, something we can all use, is a tank top. We can all use a tank top because I made a tank dress, I made a tank tunic, I made a tank top, I did all kinds of tanks. All so you could get an idea and get your wheels turning. And you know, while I was making these, I decided that it's kind of a shame to make a pattern one time because I made it 5 times, whatever, and by the 5th time you got it down, you got it memorized. So I really would encourage you when you get patterns to make them more than once, to do exactly what I do on this little webcast, is to kind of look at it, think, okay, what else could I do? And it's just, I think it's enjoyable. It's really fun to know a pattern a little bit better, especially when it's a tank top. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we first have to bring you the very bad news. The very bad news is there's some mistakes. There's 2 mistakes in this pattern. So I'm going to put up a picture of these mistakes. So this is the mistakes, and these are weird mistakes. And I'm trying to rack my brain trying to figure out how they happened. I don't know, but they did. So I mapped it out here on the left back. And you're going to see that on the left back, in between the pieces, you can see I just put little red marks there. Only on the left back, there's no seam allowance between the 2 pieces, those 3 places. So just when you're cutting it out, either tape it on, add it on, glue it on, do something to remind yourself. I always write SA and then I put a little arrow. That, for me, that means add seam allowance. And so that's only on the left back. Okay, and this mistake gets even crazier. It's the right front, but it's only on the C cup. So if you use the D cup, no worries. If you use the B cup, no worries. And it's only on the right front of the C cup. So, and again, it's between the little pieces. So that's it. Easy to fix. Easy to do. If we'd left it off both sides, you would have never known. So I don't make a pattern with seam allowance. The seam allowance is always added after. And somehow when it got added after by my digitizer person, it didn't happen. But it's got it on the armhole, it's got it on the neckline, it's got it everywhere else, just not in between those little cuts. So just be careful, okay? Be careful. Okay, so now that's the very bad news. The very good news is it fits beautiful. It looks beautiful. When you talk about fitting a tank top, you really only have one problem with a tank top, and you'll have gapping at the armhole. And if you have gapping at the armhole, that's typically you need to go to a larger cup size. So there's a lot of women out there, because you guys know I fit a lot of women. There's a lot of women out there who are not using the right cup size. So if you've got gapping on the armhole, that says that you need to fix the shoulder and go to a bigger cup size. Is that a deal? Go to a larger cup size. And I've had so many women come back to me and say, you know, I actually was a bigger cup size. And I'm just like, I understand, because the dart is taking away more fabric, and that's why. It's taking away more fabric, it's making the dart bigger, which is a bigger cup size. Okay, easy enough? Okay. All right, so as we go along, hope you all are wonderful and everybody's good. The country's kind of hot, but at least we don't have any snowstorms. Remember how bad those were? I remember. I'd much rather have heat. I say that until, you know, the power goes out. But anyway, okay, so let's talk and have some fun with this pattern. And as we go along, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Mr. Benjamin's on the question section. All right, a couple comments. There are times, what was I going to say about this? Oh, somebody asked me, how do you fix a rounded back in a tank top? And generally, you don't. You don't have to, because the neckline is lower. So if you have the problem of the tank top shifting backwards, just add the strap on the back, and that will do it. And don't take away from the front. Just add to the back and leave the front as it is. and that should take care of it. But you don't have to slice anything or dice anything or add anything because the back is low. Okay? Okay, so that's it. Let's start playing. So the first one I did is we're talking 517, I'll say it 14 times so that everybody hears. 517 Monica's tank. And the first one I did it in one piece. And the reason I did this is because I was checking fit. So you're going to take all your pieces, and I'm going to say overlap the seam allowances, but if the seam allowances aren't there, you don't have to overlap it. See, we saved you all that work. But anyway, you'll overlap the seam allowances on the tissue, and you can just cut it as one. And that's what I did on this one in the front, and I did it on the back as well. This is a new fabric. I just put it up tonight. It's 6352. It's beautiful fabric, 100% cotton. Beautiful piece of fabric. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And you can see you want to match the stripes at the bottom, not at the dart, because you can't match it at the dart. So you want to match it down below. And it's very easy to do. It's a fabric that's really easy to sew on. So it's very easy to match the stripe on the side. And it's really pretty. You can see it's a border print. So what I did is, because I wanted to wear it with a black jacket, I put the border at the top so that you could see that section. I just love it. It's very pretty. It's very pretty on, just a really pretty top. Okay, so first thing you want to do is make it by overlapping all the panels, because you don't want to go through all the work of overlapping all those panels and then have it not fit correctly. So overlap all the panels. And what you're looking for in a tank top is any gapping around the armhole. So that tells you to use a different cup size. The cup sizes are all in there. And you don't have to change anything. Just go to a different section. There's lots of pieces you're not going to use because, the pattern has got a lot of pieces in it, but you're not going to use a lot of them because all those fronts on both sides are done 3 times each. So don't worry about how thick the pattern is. Just go for the pieces you need. Okay, so make it up, check. The other thing you might have is a sway back. You'll want to check that. And if you have that, you'll just pin it out and then taper it to nothing on the side. And then when this was divided into sections, the sway back falls beautifully. It's inside one of those sections. So all you have to do is alter that section. Don't alter anything else. Just do the little section. Okay? All right, any questions on that? This is fabric 6352. It's 100% cotton. And make it up just as it is. Check your fit. That's my muslin. Isn't that a pretty muslin? Pretty good. Pretty good muslin. Okay, then we're going to go and we're going to play. The next one I did in velvet. And the reason I did it in velvet is because velvet is so popular right now. And so what I did is I decided to play with the velvet a little bit. So keep in mind, I'm just going to dinner with some friends. I've got on a casual pair of pants. These are the cargo pant. So they're 3,500. Love the cargo pants. They're just kind of, and these are ones I've had. They're old. So they're like a cream linen. And then I just have a little tank and a little scarf. And the cool thing is about these scarves, you guys, I keep pushing them, not because I have any investment in scarves, but I just think they're really pretty. So what I did on this velvet is I turned a couple of the pieces opposite, just to give it a little punch. I just turned those pieces opposite directions. You could do one. I felt like all of them would be too much. It'd be almost too much going on. So I just decided I wanted it to be just a couple. And I love it. It's beautiful. So you can see just a little velvet tank, casual pants. You could even do jeans if you wanted to. And then just take a little scarf. I can't wear a tank into a restaurant just because I get too cold. So a little wrap, a little jean jacket, something just to kind of go over that tank is really nice. Okay, so 514, I made it up just like it is. I didn't make any changes. That velvet, that is that beautiful color, 6517. and just alternate the nap. It comes out kind of fun. Okay, any questions? How much fabric for the one-piece tank with the border? It depends on your size. It depends on your size. I would say probably you can do it with a yard. Well, no, a yard is only 36 inches. You'd need 2 yards. You probably need 2 yards. Yeah. Unless you're smaller than 36 inches, then you can get by with 1 yard. If your bust is larger than 36 inches, you'll need 2 yards. But the way the border works is I put the top part on the top part of the fabric and I put the bottom part on the bottom part of the fabric. So if you only wanted to get 1 yard, it's not expensive, but it's not inexpensive either. You could do a solid back. You could do a black back. I thought about it, but then I had enough fabric anyway, and I really wanted to do the stripe. So I went ahead and did the stripe. But you could do it like a knit. You know that ribbing? That ribbing that I have is very pretty. It'd be pretty for the back. Do I add the seam allowance? Do I add the seam allowance to what? Oh, how much fabric for one-piece tank top with the border do you add the seam allowance? Well, so this is, I know, because I said, let's go back to the pictures, what was wrong with the pattern, the mistake, which is 2 mistakes. I want you to look at these patterns because I think it's really important, which is why I drew it. The armhole has seam allowance. The shoulder seam has seam allowance. The neckline has seam allowance. The center front has seam allowance. The hem has seam allowance. All around has seam allowance. The only thing it doesn't, on one side of the back and one side of the front, the C-cup only, it's in between the cuts that doesn't have seam allowance. So if you're making a one-piece tank, and what you should do is cut out the left back and the right back. Cut them out. Put them together, and you'll see that one comes up shorter. Just put them together, like just butt the tissue pieces together. And you'll see that one comes up shorter. And that's because one has seam allowance added, and when you butt up the tissue, there's 4 pieces on each side. One tissue has seam allowance and one tissue has not. Then you'll see, then just mark that tissue. If you're not using a C-cup, don't worry about the rest of it. If you're using a C-cup, it's the right side only, okay? And do the same thing. Butt them up without these extra pieces added. Like leave these off. Just put this piece to this piece to this, you know, these 4 pieces together. So you can visually see it. And then you'll see it's just really easy to add seam allowance to this piece and this piece, this piece and this piece, this piece and this piece. There's 3 places you'll add. Okay, does that help? Okay. Okay, so there's my velvet. Velvet is wonderful. It's perfect for fall right now. I mean for spring. It can go into fall. And you can see on the back I did 2 also. And it's just really a beautiful little tank. It feels great on. Velvet is just so beautiful. It's lovely. But don't think that you can't keep it casual. You can keep velvet very casual. It does not have to be dressy. That's why I said even if I paired it down with jeans, you can see that it's not dressy. Velvet is, 40 years ago, but it's not anymore. It's every day. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Let's do me next. Because I keep saying to you, jean jackets are all the rage. Jean jacket and a tank top. You're on a desert island, you're stuck. Jean jacket and a tank top. Perfect combination together. So here's the tank top, $517. Here's the jean jacket, $900. Remember, I made this jean jacket, I don't know, a little while ago. And I love it. I wear it all the time. It's great to throw on over any dress. It's really, really nice. So with this one, I just cut it longer. And because I knew I was going to wear it casual and I knew I was going to wear a jacket, I put slits up the side. You guys know how to do that. It's very easy to do. I added 6 inches to the bottom of this. If you're not sure, just add a little extra and then, you can cut it up longer. I just wanted it to cover my bum and, to cover the top of my leggings. If I was wearing leggings with it, I just wanted to cover. But the fun thing about this fabric is the 6388. And you guys, you've seen all these reversibles that we've put up. They're 100% cotton. You got to make something out of it. We got a lot of it, but it's so cute. It's stripes on one side, plaids on the other side. So if you're afraid of plaids and you don't want to match plaids, you use the stripes. So you can just do all kinds of fun things. In the velvet, it looks like the pieces are loose on 3 sides. Are the pieces loose on 3 sides? No. The pieces are loose on one side. They're sewn in the middle, they're sewn in on the side, they're sewn in on the top. That would be the 3 sides, unless you guys are counting something else. This is the underneath, and they're loose here, so they give a little bit of dimension here, is why they're so pretty. And you know, they alternate. They're very pretty. It's just a pretty little tank. The original tank, this is Monica. Monica lived in Georgia. She's actually moved to Texas now. Hi, Monica. But she's got great style. I copied a bunch of stuff from her. But anyway, she's got great shopping, and she loves clothes, and she's cute as can be. And so she brought this original tank. It was by Don Castor. And so you can search for Don Castor. He does a lot of, he's not as big as he used to be, but he does a lot of really good ideas. And I tried to go back and look at what he's doing currently to see if I could get any current ideas, but he's not used these inserts. So I didn't see anything that sparked. I saw plenty other things that sparked, but I didn't see anything like that. Okay, all right, any questions? We're good? Okay, so my goal was to keep it casual. I wanted a little bit of, you know, not just a tank top. I wanted a little more than a tank. When you're wearing something like what I have on, you don't have to have like a necklace. You don't have to have any of that, which is what to me makes it more casual. So I really liked the casual feel to it. And again, it's 100% cotton, so it's very cool. It's wonderful. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing I decided was I had a hole in my wardrobe, believe it or not. And there were so many times I'd want to throw on a jacket, and or a jean jacket or something, and I really wanted it to be about the jacket, not about what I had underneath. And I just felt like I needed a long black tank, sleeveless, because I had on a jacket or something. So for me, it was a long black tank time is what it was. I'm going to push this out of the way. So I made a long black tank. I love this. I made it to where I could wear it with leggings, because that's just how I go a lot of times. Just my days are just crazy busy, and so sometimes to wear a dress, it works okay for part of the day, and it just doesn't work. But yet sometimes with jeans or leggings and a long top and a jacket, this really works. And because you can do scarves with so many things with scarves, I love scarves. You can use them as belts. You can, there's just so many things you can do. So this is what I decided was to make this. I've loved this fabric ever since it came in. It is, the fabric is, I think I gave you the wrong fabric before. This is 6532. You probably figured it out by now, huh? This is 6532. This is 6352. I'm going to take the jacket off. 6352. So the goal in this was to just, for me, was to just make something for my wardrobe that I could just throw on all the time. And that's exactly what I did. And because, like I said, I've loved this fabric ever since it first came in. And so sometimes, when I get fabric, I obviously can't afford to make something out of everything that I purchase fabric-wise. And so it's fun to see it not like it's still there and it's been there for a little while. So I'm like, okay, it's my turn. I'm going to take and make something out of it. This is 100% cotton, has a beautiful little stripe, beautiful little shine. And because it has a little bit of a dressy feel to it, I would feel perfect like putting this with a pair of jeans. I think it would be just the right thing to do. So that, for me, that makes it a perfect all-day outfit, because even my evening things are not that dressy, as long as, you kind of have a jacket. A jacket goes a long way. So in this case, I'm doing the stripes going horizontal from these inserts. Can you zoom in on that? Or did you already did? Okay. The stripes here are horizontal. but the stripes of the actual top are going up and down. They're obviously all going up and down. Again, 100% cotton, and I just love the way it looks. I just love it. I put slits in the side again. I made it long. And I love the back. It's just beautiful the way it lays. And it is just a pretty little tank top. It is a really, and what I like about it is I can wear it under something, and this is what I like about tank tops. I mean, sometimes I want them to be plain, but sometimes, most of the time, I want them to have something on them that's just a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit wonderful. Just a little bit. Nothing major, just a little bit wonderful. And so this is the perfect thing for it. And so when you wear these short little jackets, and this is 923. Remember, I made this little crop. This fabric is on the website, but I did not get the number for it. The blue, it's a royal blue, and this is 923. I just left off the bottom portion and made the top portion for this. And then the little clasp is a new clasp we have. It's really cute. If you want to close it, you just stick this through the chain. I love these little clasps. They're really appropriate to close it, or you can leave it open. You can kind of do it either way. So it makes it really cute. And then on the seams, I just stitched those. I top stitched those. But that holds the facing in place, because 923 is an unlined blazer. So see how that tank top, it's a black tank, and it's just a real versatile piece, but it becomes background or it can become foreground, just depending on how you wear it or what you wear it with. So it's just a great piece. I needed, just like I say, a long black tank that I could wear with leggings and then with a jacket. So it goes longer than the leggings, or longer than the jacket, to wear with the leggings. Okay? Okay. Oh, Doncaster is closed. Oh, okay. Thank you for whoever said that. I looked it up and I found things by him, but obviously they were from they were from years past, and I just didn't notice that. So, all right, very good. All right, so let's go to this one because it was just way too much fun. Way too much fun. So I decided, because Fringe was so popular, all these little inserts, why couldn't they just be Fringe? And so that's all I did. So this fabric, the Fringe, is 6436. It's a fun fabric. It's very loosely woven, which I loved about it. And then I went ahead and added fringe around the neckline so that it would have the different tiers. And so each of those pieces, each of those inserts, I just cut a rectangle. And so I sewed in a rectangle on each of these 3 spots. And my rectangle was the same length as the insert, and I made it like 10 inches long. So this one, they all are the same length, so they add layers. And then, you could make this a lot more fringy if you wanted to. I just didn't want too much fringe, and I didn't even add it to the back. I mean, I added fringe to the back, don't get me wrong, but I didn't add fringe in the back up around the neck edge. I only added it to the front. And that's because I figured I'd probably be wearing something over the back, and I felt like it'd almost get in the way. So I decided to only do the front. But I just love it. And I think the fabric is so cool. You could really make a little wrap out of it. 6436 is the top. And I just love the pink. I love the color. I love everything about it. It looks great with white jeans, blue jeans, anything you decide to do. Have you made them so you can get these off and on? How have you made these? Oh, that's cute. Well, you don't have to put an invisible zipper. Oh, that's a good point, you guys. There is an invisible zipper. And I did that because the original had an invisible zipper. So you don't have to put an invisible zipper in any tank top. The only thing, like if you look at mine, I'm going to take my belt off. Oh, I can't take my belt off. I got my microphone on. So you can see that this tank top I have on has a little extra around my waist. And that extra is enough to get it over my bust. On a tank top, when you're fitting it, if you make the waist smaller than the bust, that's when you can't get it off, and that's when you need an invisible zipper to open up the side. But my waist is equal to the bust on this, or a little more. So I can just slip them over my head. You don't need an invisible zipper unless you try to get more fitted. If you try to get more fitted, then you're going to need an invisible zipper. And what that invisible zipper does is it opens up the waist so that the waist can go over the bust. The waist is the smaller part, the bust is the part you have to worry about getting off and on. Okay? Okay, that's all. All right, you guys, so that means I'm going to leave this webcast up to you now. It's your questions, our answers. Because I've shown you all 5. All 5 are quick and easy. You can do this. Let me know. Let's get questions. I am going to talk about Series 11 because we're going to try to do Series 11. We're going to push it. We're going to promote it. That's a better word than pushing. We're going to promote it because Series 11, your questions are answers. The whole series is your questions are answers. There's a lot of good stuff. Okay. Questions? Oh, do you want to? Yeah. Okay, let's do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway. But here's the deal. If we give away one, we need another 100 of you to buy it. Is that okay? Okay. That's the deal. We're way down from where we need to be. We need you to buy something from Fit to Stitch. The pattern of the month will help. The pattern of the month will help. Everybody's got to buy one. But we're way down. But anyway, okay, so what do you want? Okay, so if you'll spell out the word 11, don't panic, I'll help you. E-L-E-V-E-N, all lowercase. Don't capitalize anything, just E-L-E-V-E-N. Is that how you spell 11? Yeah, E-L-E-V-E-N. Okay, so put that in, and in a few minutes we'll give one away. This is fun. It's always fun to give one away. And I think that this one is a really good series. There's a series on there, Understanding Pants, and we put up an excerpt of it. And somebody wrote on there, like, there's a part missing. The part missing is why you want to buy it. It's why you want to buy it. We give away an awful lot free, but we have to pay for the series. So the only way to pay for the series is for you guys to help us here. There's an interfacing. There's a whole section on interfacing. How to use a dress form. Understanding Pants. There's all kinds of good stuff. 13 shows. $49.99. What a deal. Okay. So everybody's still writing? Only enter one time. Don't forget to only do one time, you guys. And we'll see if we get a winner. Well, we'll get a winner for sure. It's a matter of who it is. Now, if you already have the series, you don't want to put your name up in there, okay? Because then you'll win 2. So all these people who are putting their name in, you guys need to buy this if you don't win it. Okay, you're admitting you don't have it. We need your support. That's why we're giving it away. We're going to send all you nasty emails until you get. No, we're not. I'm kidding. I don't even see the chat. I don't ever read the chat. Does the pink fabric 6436 on Fringe tank top coordinate well with the other pink plaid gauze fabric? Oh, good question. I don't know. I don't think it does, because here's some of the other pink, and this is a deeper pink. This is more of a it's a lighter pink. I'd love to say yes, but I just don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't. This is really a hot pink, and this is more of a faded pink. This is almost like a watermelon pink, if that makes sense. Sorry. All right, so do we have a winner? We do. We have a winner. That means one person wins, everybody else has to pay. And this is also the one that we have the really coolest story about outer space. And Nicole Stott, she's an astronaut. We went down to Houston, and for those of you who will never buy this, we went down to Houston, and it's a great story. I'm going to take a minute to tell the story because it's really an awesome story. There is, as you know, many of you know, in Houston, there's MD Anderson, and MD Anderson is the world-renowned cancer center. And MD Anderson has a special wing of the hospital just for children. It's a cancer unit just for children. And they were friendly with ILC Dover. ILC Dover is who we worked with. ILC Dover creates the outfits for the NASA astronauts. And so they contacted ILC Dover, and they wanted to come up with an idea to work with the children in the cancer unit. And there was a lead engineer, and I won't give names, it doesn't matter, but anyway, there's a lead engineer at ILC Dover who engineers these space outfits, really Superman, whose little daughter, when his daughter was 2 years old, his daughter's best friend had cancer. And they took him to Sloan Kettering in New York. And he said he'll never forget dropping off the father and the daughter to go start cancer treatments, thinking he'd never see his daughter's best friend again. And sure enough, they did. The doctors were amazing. Everything worked out fine. She made it. So he always had this little sensitivity toward cancer. So when MD Anderson Cancer Center came and said, hey, we'd like to do something with you, he just immediately responded yes. And the thing I think that's most impressive, you guys, is all these big corporations and companies and hospitals and all these other things, they all gave a tremendous amount of time to this project. It was called the Space Art Project. And this is the story of the Space Art Project, is what it is. And what they did is they went into these hospitals, and they've actually now grown to where they've gone hospitals literally all over the world, because it is a global universe. It's a global united of all children across the planet. And what unites us is that we're all on the same globe. When you go into outer space and you look back at the globe, the astronauts that do that, they have what they call the space effect. And kind of all of a sudden you realize that we're all one. We're all on the planet. We've all got problems, and your problem is my problem, and we all need to pull together. And so they start giving, and they have a tendency to give back. And so what Nicole Stott did, who's the astronaut, she decided she really wanted to head up this art program. And so they went into the cancer centers, literally all over the world now, it's grown to, and they started having the children draw. They'd go in and visit with them and just let them draw, whatever was on their mind. But they took these pieces of canvases, and they literally sewed them together to make these spacesuits. And they took the spacesuit, they made it to where an astronaut could wear it. So you're pulling all these different skill sets together. They launched it into space so that the children could see that there was hope. There was hope that for them, for having cancer. It's just a tremendous story. I'm sure I'm botching it terribly, but it's a tremendous story, and it's a tremendous effort. And I think I really wanted you to see how sewing played a part in these efforts. And ILC Dover and MD Anderson was kind enough to let us come down. We spent, a lot of time down there filming and getting the story and interviewing, and the story, that's the last episode on that DVD, okay? Okay, and Sarah Barton, you have won the whole series. The whole series is on here, you guys. Fit to Stitch Series 11, your questions, our answers. And the guy who sewed the spacesuit, he's just a super guy. He started sewing when he was in home ec, and like in high school, only because there was a really cute girl in home ec and he wanted to get to know the girl, so he signed up for home ec. But he actually has made a whole career out of sewing. Sewing sails, sewing parachutes, sewing space suits. He's made his whole career out of sewing. So he never married the girl. He never, even dated her, he said, but he was really grateful that he started sewing all because of the girl. So I love the sewing story. Okay, let's get back to the tank top. Sorry to be so long-winded on that. Would the same adjustments I did on the Jags pants pattern need to be the same for the Cargo's pants? I already have season 11. No, the Jags pant, well, I would start there, yes. I would start with those adjustments. Because when I change a style on a pant, I take into account the different styles of the pant. So whatever fit adjustments you did for the Jags, I would do those same for the cargo pant. Yes, to answer your question. I made a piece top. It's a muslin, but I hope to wear it. The only fabric that was right for the pattern was bright red and bright yellow orange. My daughter asked me if I was making a clown shirt. I can see why she thought you were making a clown shirt. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you all, we have a really cool, like a netting. We have it in orange, and we have it in lime green, and we have it in yellow. I thought, wouldn't that be cool, like to make a swimsuit cover-up, a tank top that had all those different colors pieced together? I didn't have time to do it, or I would have. But I just thought that'd be so cute. Look at that open netting. And if you got like a yard of each of one of those, that would be enough to do kind of probably whatever you wanted to do. I just thought that'd be fun. So thanks for that idea. Is Monica's tank top higher in the back than the 514 four-way top? It is. It is. I can't tell you by how much, but yes, it is. If you find a top that fits perfect, but it's a knit, how can you adapt it for a woven? Well, if it's a tank top, it doesn't matter. You don't have to adapt it, because that's a knit, and that's a woven, and that's a woven, and that's a knit, and this is a woven. So I'm using the exact same pattern, the exact same fit for all of those tanks. They're all done, because I mean, unless you want negative ease. I didn't want negative ease. I just wanted it to go around, around my body. So unless you want negative ease, then you can make it smaller. But you don't really have to make any adjustments. I would just go to a size that was smaller. That's all, and not worry about the rest. Oh, the person who had season 11, is that who won? No. It was somebody else who said they had season 11. You guys, I'm really kidding on, we're going to find out who who entered. It means you didn't have series 11. I'm just kidding. I don't ever go back and see the chat. And I don't see the chat now, and I don't go back. So no worries, okay? Thank you, Brett, for that reminder. We don't want you to think we're stalking you. We're so not. We want you to want it, is what we want. Okay, what else on the tank top? Series 11, PBS, any questions? We're happy to answer. We could go out for pizza. It's early enough to get drunk, isn't it? What's that? Pizza and a salad. There we go. We're always thinking about health. Oh, too funny. All right, hang on. We got some questions coming in. There's a little bit of a delay. So just know that when I ask, there's a little bit of delay to it coming back. I recently bought the Scubas. They were black with floral this week, and they seemed lightweight visually. Do you have any recommendations for the Scubas you had in the last week or so? Yes. Well, first off, a tank top is great, but do the sheath dresses. The Scubas are amazing for sheath dresses because they're actually really lightweight. They're cool. They've got poly in them, but they're very breathable, and they're so great to travel with. But even if you did like a long tunic with just leggings, I think that's cute. Dresses are really cool. Didn't we do one in our sew along? Didn't I have a Scuba a little bit ago? They're great for jackets. You guys can do just about anything with them. What kind of seam allowance would be best for the pink netting? What kind of seam? I wouldn't even think twice about the seam. I would even, next week in PBS, we're filming a clear bag. We're doing a clear bag. And Cindy's doing this show. She doesn't know this yet, but I found a clear Chanel tote bag. And on that clear Chanel tote bag, and it's like the clear, when I say clear, it's like a vinyl. These bags are like $7,000, those Chanel ones. So we're showing how to make one. But on those seam allowance, they don't have any finish to them. They literally are stitching them on the sewing machine, and that's it. Like, you don't want to do it on the serger because there's no reason to see all that thread. There's no advantage of it. So just sew it on the sewing machine. You won't even see the seam allowance, most likely. And then, unless you want to do French seams, but your seams won't show, so I wouldn't worry about it. I'm trying to lose weight. Hey, join the club. I think all of America is trying to lose weight. Hopefully you're having more success than I am. Any tips on how to make some tops now that would be easier to make smaller later? Yeah, the tank top. Keep in mind, you guys, that it does depend how much weight you're trying to lose. But, I remember years and years ago when my kids were little, one of my really dear friends was heavy. She was heavy. And she just kept getting larger. Every baby I had, I got smaller. Every baby she had, she got larger. And but I just love this girl to death. point is, she asked her husband for a budget to go, she was not a sewer. She asked her husband for a budget to go clothing shopping. And he said no, because he said, you shouldn't buy clothes when you weigh what you weigh. And like, I was so mad. So I started sewing for her to help her get some clothes that would, because you got to feel good. You got to feel good all the time. I'm a big believer that you'll never lose the weight if you don't feel good about the weight you're at. That's just a personal opinion. So you got to look good for now, and not everything will transition. Depends on how much weight you have to lose. I can go up 20 pounds and my tops will transition no problem because I'm tall. Some people can't get away with that. So don't focus too much on when you're losing the weight. Try to stay in the present of where you're at, look great, and if you lose the weight, then you get to sew more and you get to buy more fabric. And that's not a bad thing, right? That's the way I look at it. Keep something around that is your incentive pant. You know, I keep incentive pants around. I'll try them on like every week. And it's like, oh, this is awful. But you need those incentive pants. They're really important. What's the silver on the bottom of the blue jacket? The bottom of the blue, oh, this is a closure. Can you come in on this, Brett? Do you mind? So this is one of the closures we have. They're under notions. And I love this. It's a chain. And then it's a little crossbar. So you sew both ends of the chain on, and then you just stick it through the crossbar. And I like it because there's times I like to wear the jacket closed, and there's times I really like to wear it open. So closed, it looks like that. Open, it looks like that. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I think it's just really cool looking. Okay, I picked those up when I was in New York last time. All right, what else? Anything? All right. We're going to say happy sewing early tonight. And just think what you can get done in 20 minutes. Like, it only took me an hour to make a top. You could at least get one cut out, girls, okay? Or you can at least get it ordered. How's that? So the Fit to Stitch, let me just tell you, 20% off the site. Use your coupon code. It was sent out in your email. 20% off the site through the end of June, which is all this week and next week, 20% off. Now, that's not the latest 11 series and the 12 series. And that's not the new patterns that are, you know, the new pattern. But everything else is 20% off. Everything in the patterns and DVD section. So 20% off for the month of June. It's National Fit to Stitch Month. We declared it. We made it national. We made it official. And then we're really pushing, remember our drawing. We're going to have our drawing. So when this is all over, like at end of June, like a week after that, for every item you purchase from Fit to Stitch, your name goes in a hat, and we're going to have a drawing, and we're going to give away 5 gift certificates for $100 in fabric, 5 of them. So that's really cool. So everything you buy, your name enters in a chance to win that gift certificate. So if you give the donation that we're doing right now is if you do 4 of them, which is $20, you just go to donation and put in 4 of them, and it'll be $20. We'll mail you back the 4222 pattern that we did, the sew along that we did. That's going through the end of June. Everything's going to the end of June. Okay? So all of that's going on, so it's a good deal. What is the number of the fabric on the blue jacket? I don't know. It's on the site. It's a royal blue. If you put in royal blue in the search bar, I think it's the only thing that will come up. We're testing it right now. Royal blue. Does it come up? No? Royal does. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. It's a Pontoroma-like. I know there's not very many fabrics that are Pontoroma-like, and I put it up to where it's lower than that. Oh, what's that number? Is that a Pontoroma-like? Sorry, you guys. No, go down more. Sorry. Keep going. It's farther than that. Keep going. Whoop. Keep going. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I'm sorry. Keep going. Yeah, sorry. It's in there. We don't have a lot left. I mean, there's only a couple yards, but I do know there's a little bit left. Sorry about that. All right, so then we will see you Thursday night. Thursday night is our Q&As. We've got some good Q&As that have come in over the last week, and I put them in my little Q&A section. Oh, we have more questions? Okay, sure. But Thursday night will be our Q&A, our official Q&A. For those of you who have sent answers in and you don't think I answer you, I do answer you. I just put it in my Q&As, and we answer them on every other Thursday night. And it's working so well. It's really working well. It gives you guys one place to go look at for all those Q&As. You can just sit 20 minutes and sit and listen to them and learn, even if, it's not a question you had. Hopefully you'll learn something. But it's also helping us really stay organized. All right, is the neckline different from your regular tank top? Yes, it is. It is. I found a perfect top. If it's knit, how can I adapt the measurements to woven? Okay, so the perfect top you got, oh, somebody found it. 6519, no, I don't think that's it. No, that's not it. Sorry. Okay, I found a perfect top. If it's knit, how can I adapt the measurements to woven? Well, a perfect top is a little bit, does it have sleeves? Where do I send a question for Thursday? Peggy@silhouettepatterns.com. Okay, Peggy@silhouettepatterns.com. So for the perfect top, if you'll let me know, whoever you are, does it have sleeves? Because if it has sleeves, the measurements aren't going to do you any good in woven. If you're going to do a woven top, measure a woven top. Why would you measure? It's like, making spaghetti when you want apples for dinner. If you want apples, you get apples. You don't make spaghetti and expect it to be apples. Yay, I won. Can I please tell me the email address so I need to send you my address? Yes, Peggy@silhouettepatterns.com. Peggy@silhouettepatterns.com. Congratulations. For all of you, thanks for watching. All right, we're just wrapping up questions. We've got questions coming in. Are we good? Was it a knit or a woven? But I think it's very difficult to measure something that's knit and say, okay, now I'm going to convert it to woven. I missed your 15-minute little videos on using patterns. Are you going to do them anymore? Yes, thank you. That's nice of you. Yeah, we are. We just got to get through filming. I don't have 15 minutes to film a video. No, it's just too busy. Filming is just, PBS, and we love it. We love it. It just takes an enormous amount of time. So once we get through that, and because it's National Fit to Stitch Month, we're putting up excerpts from the videos so that you all will purchase them. That's the goal, is to help you all see the value, how valuable these are. They're certainly worth $49.99. Okay? Yes, it has sleeves. Okay, so it's really, I would hate to tell you how to do it, because if it's a perfect top and it's knit, then you make it in a knit, but you don't convert it to a woven. I couldn't even tell you how to do that. It's not doable. Let me just put it that way. It's not doable. There's many reasons why it's not doable, but don't do that. Go out and find the perfect woven and then measure it. Okay? That's it. That's it. Nice job. Did you find that? Yeah. 63.96. 63.96. And you guys, there's not very much left, so it's going to be gone by the time we tell you this. 63.96, yes. And I completely forgot to get that number. I'm sorry. All right, let's go over the fabric numbers just one more time. This pink here is 64.36. What was this one, Benjamin, real quick? The 6396 is this one, the blue. The black underneath this, I love this, is 63.52, 100% cotton. This one is also 100% cotton, and it's brand new up, 65.32. Okay, this is the velvet. It's 65.17. And me, I am 63.88. Me. Okay. Any more questions? All right, then we will see you Thursday night at the Q&As. Bye. Happy sewing. That's the goal. Let's make everybody sewing a little happier. Later. Bye.